Thanks, everyone, and thanks for having me here today. My name is Clifford Blodgett. I am the founder and managing director of Safe Money Events and Safe Money Marketing. So we do a number of different pieces for IMES, most notably events. We did many events last year for IMES, and we're excited to do many more this year. We've also done some video sales letters, which I'm going to talk about, and some other presentation pieces in 2023, and we're going to show some numbers, and we're going to go through those pieces, and we're going to show you tools that are available to you via IMES or via Safe Money Events, and then where to go to purchase them. Do know that anything with our vendor relationship with IMES, that you can use your marketing bucks on anything that we share today, and we encourage that as well. So take a sit back and enjoy kind of the marketing piece that I'm going to go through over the next 20 to 30 minutes, and what we talk about and where digital marketing is going in 2024. So first things first, we're going to launch our video sales letter officially, which is exciting for us. We've only been talking about it for the last year, but definitely a great piece and a very nice supplement to anything you might be doing on the outside, whether it be webinars or events or referrals or whatever. I like to say that this is a nice tool to have in your background, and it can be the hardest working person in your office. So essentially it's meant to just create appointments and churn out appointments that go directly on your calendar. So when we look at that, this is kind of what an overview of what a video sales letter looks like. So we have everything from ads that go into opt-in sheets here, and then we go to our video sales letters, our appointments pages, and we go into sequencing after that. For everyone that doesn't opt in at the video, which is 90%, 95% of the people who do click on these ads, we have a 28 touches system over the first 8 days that we're going to hit people with and try to turn them into prospects. And what we see is we get a percentage at the first email, or we get a percentage at the initial appointment page, and then after that we see more and more appointments kind of stack up in the emails and the text messages that we follow up with afterwards. We also use voicemail drops. So essentially we're going to drop a voicemail. If you've ever been on your phone and saw a call that didn't really ring, but then you have a voicemail, that's a voicemail drop. And we use that technology, and we put a custom little note in their mailbox that says, hey, you were interested in annuity rank, or you were interested in our 4 to 5 taxes piece. We didn't hear from you. We're going to text you, let's get you signed up. So we see a lot of action coming out of that sequence, and moving forward into the emails and the text messages. So that's where we really start seeing the actions being made. The funnels kind of look like this. Over on the left-hand side, this is what people see, when they click on the link. And then over on the right-hand side, we've got kind of the video page that they're directed to, all included with the link at the bottom that says schedule my annuity score evaluation right there, or annuity rank evaluation right there. The traffic and resources that we use for this are Facebook, Google Performance Max, and YouTube. So pick an area or region. It could also be virtual as well. So if there's an area that you want to target and you do virtual events, this is a perfect kind of place for that. We use dynamic ad sets. So we have thousands of combinations that we're always trying for your content. And then we're also leveraging our custom audiences. So with our event pixel, with our pixels that we have on our content on our other websites, we are building first-party data sources for Facebook then to draw from to build more custom audiences and more lookalike audiences from there. So what we see is the more that we customize those audiences, our prices for these things go down substantially every time that we bring those audiences back to Facebook. Essentially, you need to pick a topic. These are high intent and ready to talk topics. So the appointment people, or when your prospects are ready to talk, they're already kind of on the same page as you. So if it's annuity rank or fortifying your taxes, they're already going to have topics to talk to you about because they've watched the video, they've already spent 15 minutes with you, and that's where then we go from there. So essentially, we have the content already created. We're going to put an introduction and a call to action at the end that you record with us. It takes about 15-20 minutes. We'll give you a script and we record it from your office, and we go from there. So like I said, it's kind of like you're setting second appointments, really, because they've already spent 10 to 15 minutes with you going over these content pieces and these topics. The content is also already compliant, so you don't really have to worry about going back and rechecking everything that you've done. Right now, this is always a kind of like a moving target, but our topics included are taxes and retirement, legacy maximization, and in Q1 we'll have our annuity rank content as well. So annuity rank is, take your old annuity and we rank it with what products are out there now, the market, interest rates, those kind of things are affecting annuities in fun ways. So, if you have a 7 or 8 year old annuity, it's definitely worth your time to go and re-evaluate that against what else is out there, what other products are out there. So it's a really nice kind of like introduction for advisors to get into. So we like that. Right now, taxes in retirement, legacy maximization, our average cost per appointment is about $150. And our average cost per appointment on annuity rank content is $200. We're not launching annuity rank quite yet, but we will in February. So we're super excited about that. But those are kind of the numbers that we're shooting for. So the 150, 200, that would be the numbers that we're looking for when we take your budget and apply it to this product. Here's a screenshot of the follow-up sequence. Like I said, 28 touches after somebody opts in. This is what it looks like. And then what you see. So person signs up for an appointment. You're going to see it on your calendar. You're going to get an automated email into your email box that has the person's details, new appointment made, and what you'll see at the time of the appointment. So if it's at 2:30 on a Tuesday, you're going to get a phone call from a number. And essentially what that service does is they're calling you and they're calling the prospect at the same time, and they're connecting you together. So, if you forget to call at 2:30, the service is taking care of that. Now, if you want to opt out of that, it's just a box click that we can opt out of if you want to call the people. But it is something that we offer, and people do enjoy that service as well. When we talk about video sales letters, what we do want people to do is follow up with non-attendees. So if an appointment doesn't show up, call them back. That's why we give you their number. So maybe they missed that automated call like we just discussed. So it's a great time for you to just pick up the phone and call them back. If nobody calls, then you let us know as soon as possible, and inform us of what's going on. Please do add your prospects to your CRM. They're yours. So maybe if you don't even get an appointment with, or if they don't show up for their appointment, that's still something that you can use in the future. Put them on a drip list or whatever, and it's still your lead. And that person showed at some point, so they probably will come back around at some point and show some interest. Set a second appointment. So if you're on the phone with them, let them know what your second appointment is. If it's in-house, if it's virtual, whatever you have as your second appointment, whatever you have as your process, start on that track right away, and then give us the quality feedback that we're looking for. We're trying to make this program better. So if you're getting crappy leads, or if you're getting people that are having problem with the technology, let us know that so we can fix it, or we can do build arounds and those kind of pieces. And do understand that some people, when we do the voicemail drops, react to those voicemail drops by simply just calling that number back. And so in that instance, they're calling the line, which is forwarded to whatever line that you've set up, for your appointments. And so you might get some like weird phone calls of being like, yeah, I'm just calling you back or whatever. And those are people that are, calling you about they opted into annuity or they whatever. A lot of times they don't even listen to the voicemail. They just simply see a missed call. They call it right back. They're like, what, And so we're working on a call whisper system that would let you know kind of what that person's calling about, giving you kind of a heads up on what that is. So, but be prepared for that because it does happen. I've seen it happen a number of times on these as well. So please do not, not answer your phone, especially when you know you have an appointment, because the number of the call service varies. So it should appear local, but you might not always recognize it. And like I said, that call service only calls once. So, if you miss it or they miss it, call back, use the phone numbers, and be ill prepared for the call. So like I said before, know the content that's going to be in front of your prospect, because they probably have already listened to 12 or 15 minutes of the content that's going on. You want to meet them where they're at. You don't want to have to backtrack and go through that. You want to meet them on, here's the next steps. Oh, you're looking at taxes and retirement, like we need to have a meeting. If you're looking at annuity rank, we're going to need a copy of your next, your next, what's the word I'm looking for? The piece that they send out, oh goodness, the notice that they get every month from their annuity. You're going to need that to go forward. So making sure that you meet them on the same level as where they're at. So what comes next? The week 1 and 2, we get the ad going live. We keep an eye on our calendar. Week 2, we check our performance. We resolve calendar issues. There always seems to be something, when you're syncing up with other people's calendars, it happens. So, and then week 4, we check follow-up appointments and fix any gaps in the process. So it's pretty simple to get off the ground once we get everything going. Video sales letters lets folks interact with you from the comfort of their own home. And what's included is the registration page, 28 pages or 28 touches of follow-ups, AI appointment setting technology, scripted introduction and calls to actions are included. And the custom audience generated leads are what we're working from. So there's a link there at the bottom that I'm sure will be included on this page to use to sign up for this. The initial setup is $6,000 a quarter. Like I said, we're projecting about 30 appointments over those 3 months. Repeat purchases are $4,000 a quarter. And again, we're still looking at about 30 projected appointments a month. It takes a little bit for this to get off the ground, for us to get everything organized. So that's where that $6,000 comes from, but that's only a one-time cost. Our hope is that this just kind of runs in the background. I mean, if you think about this in a grand scheme of things, $4,000 is the lead gen for one dinner event once, so you could get 30, projected appointments for the same cost, and it runs over 3 months. So it kind of spaces them out. So it's a great another, leg to your stool when it comes to your complete marketing strategy that we're working from. So I think that's about all we have when it comes to video sales letters. Now we're going to kind of pivot back to our events. So 2023, we did lots of events. We had a lot of fun working with advisors on that. So let's look at 2023 and kind of where we're at, and then what we're going to do going forward from there. So when it comes to events in 2023, our dinner seminars averaged 38 buying units per SPID, or 64 registrants. Our average attendance was anywhere between 50 to 60%, so about 19 buying units. And taxes, retirement income planning, and legacy planning were our top event topics. When it came to educational workshops, we actually outperformed our dinner seminars, so 43 buying units with an average of 70 registrants. However, the show up rates were considerably lower, so 40% or 17 buying units. And what we found was The feedback that we got from our advisors was the quality of educational workshops. While they were getting good numbers and they were getting attendance, it seemed that people were setting more appointments in their dinner seminars than they were in their educational workshops. So it wasn't a lot more high or a lot higher, but it was probably about, you know, anywhere between 20 to 30% higher appointment rates for dinner events than educational events. And we track those pieces. You know, we'll do like a post-mortem call with you after the event, and we, you know, ask those questions. And so it's self-reported data, but that's what we kind of go from. When it comes to other event topics, we also did a number of legacy lock or legacy planning events, dinner and education events. On average, we had 44 buying units or 72 registrants for those. We had a educational event in New Jersey that we, you know, had 125 registrants for. I think we'll see that on the next, or 122, you know, registrants for. We also are still having success with webinars, but you have to be patient with webinars. Like, you're gonna get lower numbers, you're gonna get the people to show up, but it's a different strategy, but people are still using them, especially in niche markets or, you know, or very targeted pieces. So it still is, you know, a tactic out there that people are using and that we encourage in the right situation. When it comes to some 2023 numbers, we'll just take a quick glance here. So like I said, 122 registrants for a education event in New Jersey, and that was a legacy piece, but we've got some restaurant numbers, light dinner event at an art museum in Oklahoma. Be creative, folks. Like, these guys got it. They got an art museum, they're using it, and then they bring in some food so people can chit chat and have a nice time, a nice evening at the art museum there. But we got some country clubs. We have a hotel. We've had some success at a hotel recently. However, last year was not, that was not the case for any other events that we had at hotels. So we did not have a lot of success at hotels, but it seems if you get a dinner at a hotel, sometimes we get a little bit of success, but educational events at hotels are a no-no and they never perform. So please stay away from those as much as possible. We also have a virtual event in there where we had, you know, 52 registrants. So it's one of those things, like, you're going to get the numbers. What are we doing after? And we keep moving forward, you know, from there with that. So the truth is that event marketing still works. Seminars and workshops still prove to be the most consistent and cost-effective method of generating prospect for advisors and financial agents. When it comes to Facebook, and this is where we draw 80% of our traffic from, Meta has 186 million active users in the United States, and about 34 million of those are baby boomers, and that's what we're looking to attract. So 78% of those baby boomers are on Facebook, and 32% are on Instagram. And it's getting more and more that Instagram's starting to pick up. Instagram is usually, you know, 2 to 1. We'll get 2 Facebook leads to 1 Instagram lead on a lot of the stuff that we're doing. But in general, baby boomers spend up to 27 hours online in a week, and 13 of that is on paid social media. They're also spending about 10 hours, you know, they only spend 10 hours watching the news, but they have this feeling that social media is improving their life. So it's a good time to get in front of them, show them something they're interested in, and kind of move forward and see if they'll take action. When it comes to our dinner seminars, very easy. Pick a time, pick a place, complete our questionnaire, leverage our brand, and watch the registrants add up. So essentially we have, you know, the questionnaires out there. If you need some help, we've got Lynn who will take you through that process and help you fill out those and help you go through, you know, what the next steps are for your event. Statements, annuity statements, that's what they need. Gosh, it only took me 10 minutes later. So anyway, what's included with our dinner seminars? Registration page, confirmation emails, text reminders, generated or Facebook generated leads, a thank you page, access to our dashboard, and then the scripted presentation is included. And for a nominal price of $500, the confirmation calls are also included. Here's an example of the registration page. When they click on the ad, prospects are taken to this. So this is dates, topics, those types of pieces, advisor, agent bio, and additional disclosures. This page also looks amazing on a mobile device because over 60% of our people are signing up on a mobile device. So making sure that we're in front of them with that technology is important. So what also is included are hybrid confirmation sequence. So at the time of registration, we're going to hit them with registration email and a text message. Then there's the advisor reach out period. After that is the day before, we're going to send an email, and the day of, we're going to send a text message right before your event. So what I always like to let people know is that advisor reach out period is the most important here. So if you're going to work with us, we recommend that you use our confirmation call service. However, if you're not, this is the time. So I think the most important thing to understand here is that most of the people who are clicking on these ads, who are interested in what you might, the topic, don't have a person attributed to that, right? So it's just kind of out there in the ether. It's like, oh, I clicked on this ad, but I may or may not go. How do we put a face or a message or a person to this event? Because then people get this like natural guilty feeling if they don't show up, or they seem to think it's more real when we put a person attached to it. So either the advisor reaches out or we use our confirmation call services. If this part is missed, let's say you have 80 registrants, I would say 10 people maybe would show up with just our stuff, the text messaging and the email, maybe 10, maybe. However, when we have our confirmation call sequences, we see that 80, we usually get about 40, 45, sometimes 50 confirmations. And then we roll back from that, and about 60 to 70% of those show up. So we're seeing, 28 to 30 people actually showing up, even though we had 80 registrants, right? So the math on that is, there's two kind of like phases there of drop-offs, and like I said, every internet ad, 30% of it is fake leads in the first place. So we're shaking that off, and then we're shaking off the looky-loos on the second part, and we're getting people, to attend from there. So make sure that you have a confirmation call service, like have a process like already in place if you're not going to use the service. And if you need any help with that, we have some scripts laying around too that you can call from. But essentially, it's just calling them and asking if they're still planning on attending. Calling the day, calling about 7 to 10 days before, and the day before is super important to remind them. People forget, even if they put it on their calendar. There's nothing personal tied to it. So how do we get them to show up to these events? This is the biggest piece that's missing when people pay for the events that we offer, and this is the biggest kind of like opportunity that's missed in the whole process, I feel, as well. Also, what's included, these paid media placements, so leveraging our targeting. So we start with the geographical area, but then we're also looking at demographic points like income, real estate sales, those type of pieces. We also look at traffic corridors to see, like, if it's along an interstate, maybe we can, invite some people that are a little further out, 10 or 15 miles, instead of just dropping a pin and being like, okay, anybody in this area can go. We're actually spending a little bit of time targeting those pieces as well. We also will use YouTube to leverage our Facebook ads as well. So especially with like retargeting and pieces like that, people that have clicked on it, we're retargeting them through YouTube or retargeting them through Google Performance Max as well. So we're kind of layering some different strategies in there where we see success as well. The thank you page is included here. So directions, add it, the ability to add it to the calendar. If you click on that add to calendar, boom, it goes right on your Google Outlook, whatever piece is there. So a nice little piece there that we offer to advisors or to prospects as well. We also include access to our seminar dashboard. So central repository to all campaign events and data, leave your notes and work with your team in one space. So this is what your dashboard should look like after an event. Like it looks worked, like we've called these people and we know who they are and what their message is. When it comes to what else is included, the content's already done for you if you want to use it. So insert your bio, headshot, logo, and then we present from there. Everything we talk about is insurance only compliant. The topics that we currently have are retirement income planning, taxes and retirement, Social Security. We have a new presentation from Legacy Law called Estate Planning Made Easy. And then there's a fifth one, which is coming out in Q1 called Annuity Rank, and we're kind of excited about that big presentation as well. Now, when we talk about dinner events, or we talk about educational events, or we talk about webinars, or if we even talk about movie events, which we'll touch on here at the end, they all run off of the same chassis when it comes to digital marketing, right? Landing page, follow-ups, emails, text messages, all of that stuff. So, we pivot from there. So we talked about dinner, educational event. It's the same thing for us. It's just your expectations of the numbers would be the only thing that changes. So no dinner, usually held at a library, community center. Please do not do these at a hotel. Libraries, schools, community colleges, try to find somewhere like that to do these. We have a lot more success when we're doing events there than we do at when we try to, I always say it's like you're trying to shoehorn an educational event somewhere else. Like you need to have the right venue to do that, to move forward. So, same thing that's included as before, including the topics and the pieces. Again, $24.99 for level 1, $29.99 for level 2, and $34.99 for level 3. And we have the projected units that are on that. We have blown those numbers out of the water over the last year. So I think, in 2024, I say, last year we were saying projected. In 2024, I should just change this presentation and say we're going to start guaranteeing the 20, 25, 30 on those and moving forward from that. So do know that those are guaranteed now as well. Those numbers are guaranteed. When it comes to our virtual workshop, again, let people interact from the comfort of their own home. Same things are included, $24.99, $29.99, $34.99. And you can do the virtual presentation, and we're pushing those people right to the presentation. So, comfort of your own home. We can target bigger areas. So we've had success targeting a whole state if you want, or areas, so we got Colorado, Wyoming here, some more examples of people that might have Wi-Fi, but they don't want to drive 50 miles to go to a library. So some nice examples there. And essentially the virtual workshop, schedule their appointments inside of the workshop. So we're going to push people right to your Calendly page or right to your Go High Level calendar piece if you need it. And we're using a piece of software called Big Marker that's included. And it's meant for this. It's meant for webinars. It's meant to be interactive. They get a link and you get a link and the presenter gets a link. You click on it, boom, you're right into the room. It's all done within the browser. So like they don't have to download a Zoom or a GoToWebinar, software packet. So a lot of people kind of get sensitive about that stuff. It goes right to the presentation and it's all browser based. So that's why we enjoy that. And it also works on your phone. So if somebody wants to do the webinar on their phone, like you can do a Zoom call on your phone, but this software works because it's browser based, works really well on your cell phone as well. The next pivot we have is movie theater events. So find a theater, reserve the movie. We've been talking about the baby boomer dilemma for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years now. Nothing's really changed here. $34.99, either pick a movie. The big difference is that the baby boomer dilemma costs $1,300 to reserve your DCP or your licensing for that event versus the Power of Zero is 330. There is a big difference though in the numbers that are attracted. You know, the Power of Zero, ooh, the tax train is coming, doesn't generally attract the same people as like the baby boomer dilemma. So the numbers are different on those pieces. And we can also layer in the confirmation calls as well. So if you do a baby boomer dilemma, you got to be you know, straddled, or not straddled, you got to be buckled up, ready to go, because you're going to get 150, 200 registrants. We see about 20% of that show up, but in the confirmation calls are completely a must-have in this situation, because you're going to be looking at 200, 250 people registering for that event. It just never surprises me, the numbers that we see in these. It's also a good tip here is if you have a bunch of old seminars or a bunch of old, you know, people who didn't show up for events or have shown up to events, you know, and they're just cold leads, warm them up with one of these movie theater events. So you could get the DCP or get the licensing for the baby boomer dilemma, and then also invite, you know, if you have a list sitting around of people to that event as well. The process of setting this up is, you know, find a venue, order your marketing. We usually need about 2 to 3 weeks before, so, you know, order about 4 weeks ahead of time. And then make sure that you order your DCP from Doug Orchard, who's the producer of the event, at least 3 weeks in advance. So we have a whole page that goes through the whole process here at Movie Event Generation. So it kind of goes step by step on what you need to do. Use it. It's very helpful if you're interested in doing these events. They still pull, but I think that what we found and what people you know, like about it is that you get lots of people. What they don't like about is the show up rates and how much Doug Orchard has, you know, kind of adjusted the price on that, and how much movie theaters charge for this stuff. So it is a, you know, situation where you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons on that event, and if that's what you're interested in doing. All right, so that kind of goes through everything that Safe Money Events is about right now, and Safe Money Marketing. We're always looking at building new stuff, but for right now, VSLs or video sales letters and event marketing are like our go-to pieces. So if you're interested, go to safemoneyevents.com. You'll go to a page like this and you'll be able to get into the event generation, look at the options, and start planning your event. We also have Lynn Feldhauser, who's available for people that have questions or kind of want to be guided through this process. And she's awesome at, you know, answering phone calls, but also answering questions and helping you fill out, you know, the pieces here. So you go to here, you pick your package, and you're going to fill out the form. The forms are about anywhere between 8 to 9 pages long. They go through all the disclosures, all the, you know, what you should expect, and all of those pieces. So name, email, phone number, event types, how many dates, picking the topic, disclosures, a headshot, your logo, and then at the end you do pay so we can get started right away. So you know, we don't like to waste time in the middle here. We're ready to go when you are, and we are at the end of our presentation. So we are looking forward to seeing you on our website or seeing you reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to Lynn or myself, or your salesperson, who will then get you in touch with them, and we'll take the next steps from there. So if you're interested in the VSLs, Safe Money Events, you know, let your IMS person know. I talk to them all the time, and we will get you set up, and we will get you rolling for 2024. Thank you for having me at your event today, and have a great rest of your day.